Producers, it's Özgün here. So after the Hardwell's comeback on Ultra Music Festival 2022, everyone around me is just talking about BIGROOM, techno, that hybrid. Finally, the music I make for 2 years is becoming mainstream. I'm really happy and looking forward to see how the Hardwell's new style is gonna affect the EDM scene. So today I'm gonna show you how I made this BIGROOM techno hybrid kind of drop. And actually, I really made this idea, the drop idea, so fast, like under 1 hour. Usually, if you check my channel, like the most of the time, I just spend so many time on processing of the sound, the mixing on the sounds, having so many different plugins top of each other, and trying to shape the sound and sound big like in the industry standards. But I just discovered a really fun plugin, like it's looking so fun and it's make a really big job. Yeah, I'm talking about Techify. So you can just shape any of the sound in couple seconds, you know, maybe in 5 seconds to something really big without having so many plugins. Also, many saturation plugins either too subtle or over distorting the sound. Thickify is kind of different to me because of its algorithm, I think. You don't need to sacrifice from the original sound itself. It's not killing the sound, but it's just turning and transforming it to something cool, you know? It can make your sound bigger or it can add some saturation to the sound. It's just coloring and processing the sound, but it makes the processing of the sound so easy. So today I'm gonna demonstrate this plugin and I'm gonna show you how I made this BIGROOM techno drop. And if you're ready, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, first let me show you the drop, how it sounds now. As you see, every sound is processed well, and you can even release this track after finishing several more background stuff. It's done, you know. First of all, I'm gonna demonstrate you the kick. So the common thing in this track, I processed almost every sound with Techify plugin. As I said in the beginning of the video, this plugin just gives a character. It can shape the sound, it can distort the sound. You can make several different things with it. So the plugin itself looks amazing, you know. It reminds me the Sausage Fattener or Endless Smile, that kind of plugins, but we have several more options in here. So the thickness just making the sound so much bigger. Stress is just giving some color, drive, just saturating the sound. And we will have several parameters in here. One is auto, like it means auto gains. Most of the distortion plugins, we are getting this problem. When you add distortion to the sound, like it becoming so loud and you need to gain match it, it's a time killer. But like if you have an auto gain option, it's automatically reducing the output so you don't hear any volume changes and you will understand what the plugin actually does. We have a bypass button in here and we will have an oversampling. So I'm not gonna talk about oversampling. It's just making the distortion a bit more smooth. If you are distorting it too much, more oversampling is gonna give you a better sounding track. And we have a tone, it's kinda EQ, and we have a level if you don't wanna use auto gain or if you wanna just boost it or reduce it after auto gain. So this is a really easy to use plugin, you know, with just several buttons. And also I'm gonna put a link in the description. For a limited time, if you get the plugin, you are going to get 3 bonus packs. There's a happy hardcore pack, a melody pack for trap, and there's a really good techno pack. If you get the plugin, you are gonna get 3 of the packs for bonus for a limited time only. So yeah, this is the overall talk for the plugin. Let's see some action on it. So first of all, there are 3 parts for a techno kick. If I show the layers to you, I usually have a body kick, which is in this case this one. And I use a punch kick. And a top kick. So when you merge these 3 in a good way, they sound like this. It's really big, fat, and like sound really distorted in a good way. And if I show you the layers, the body kick doesn't have anything. It's just as it is. For top kick, I just cut the lows. Body kick as it is. And the magic happens here in the punch kick. I have a Thickify in here. If I mute this one, it's just becoming a normal kick, right? With Thickify, it's something next level. So if I mute the Thickify, you are going to understand the magic that it brings to the sound. With Thickify, the kick is like this. Without it, yeah, so in this case, we just use the Thickify on a regular kick, you know. So to layer the kicks properly, you are going to need a body kick like this. And when you find a punch kick, just cut the lows. And after that, I'm gonna apply Thickify. Okay, let's mute everything and see how the plugin works. And maybe we can just monitor the levels from LFO tool. I'm gonna give some thickness to the sound. So 3 buttons just enough, you know, and all we need to do is just blend 2 of the kicks. And after adding the Thickify, I'm just gonna cut the same amount of low frequencies because saturation always give you unwanted low end. And with this, our kick is just done. And you can just shape it, color it, listening from inside of the track and find the perfect sweet spot for the kick. Yeah, when I turn the Thickify off, it's just becoming a regular kick. But when I saturate my punch kick, it sounds like a main stage techno kick, you know? And you can check the LFO tool without saturation. Our kick just doesn't look good. This is the one of the examples you can use the Thickify, and the second one, let's go to the bass. In this case, I have a bass like this. It's really fat. With the kick, it sounds like this. Okay, I'm gonna show you the dry version of the bass. This is a really good, decent bass from Medic sample pack. And without any processing, it sounds like this. As you see, there's only the sub frequencies we have in the sample, but we don't have any upper harmonics. In this case, we are just gonna use Thickify with it. Let me make this big. So with decent amount of saturation, we can just turn this bass into this one. Okay, I'm gonna just make the parameters default again, and I'm gonna remake the bass for you. I just want you to look at the waveform. Now we have only one big hill, only the first harmonic, and which is not enough. It's not gonna hover low region. We just need to saturate and make the signal bigger. Let's loop this section. And now we have the second harmonic, and now our bass is just more rich. When I bypass this one, okay, let's hear it with the kick. It's gonna be more make sense then. Yeah, and also as you see, I'm just cutting the high frequencies because like without the EQ, the Thickify just giving sound so much distortion and it sounds like this. And after you saturate the signal, you can just cut the highs. So there's only a really big and rich sub sound remaining. Okay, if I compare the sound without Thickify, the low end like sounds like this. And with Thickify, everything sounds big and we just use one plugin. This is why I'm demonstrating this plugin, you know. So anyways, this is how I achieve my low ends. I'm using a saturation for the punch key and I'm layering them properly. And also I'm just making my bass bigger with using Thickify. And after that, I'm just removing unwanted high frequencies. And this is what I get in the result. Sounds good. If we go to the leads, first maybe I can show it to you how it sounds. So again, in the lead, I just wanted to so super simple. I'm using on a one serum lead. It sounds like this. This is just a white solve layer. And for the processing wise, I just do the generic stuff. I have my blood overdrive and then some little EQ. And after that, I have the Thickify plugin. Again, this time, as you see, I don't even use any of the drive because I already had a drive in my sound. I just wanted to make my sound a bit stand out. In this case, I have only one lead. If I have so many layers, I could make the sound big or unique in terms of character. But in this case, because I have only one lead, I needed to make a good, decent processing to make it stand out. And if you see, I only have the thickness on. Let me show you without the thickness. It's crisp on the top end. It's not filling the mids, so it sounds a bit empty. This is the place I usually put several EQs or some maybe multi-band saturation plugins. And I try to color and shape the sound with several plugins. But now I just give the thickness knob and it's gonna just shape it so well. Let's check it on the span. Even I can use stress or drive buttons. In previous version I didn't use it, but now I just want to try. Is it gonna sound bad? I think stress and drive also gave the sound a little bit more texture and character. I think the stress is compressing the sound and drive is just driving it. But when you use the parameters together, I think they are affecting each other also. So you don't need to use it on a dry sound. You can use it on a sound that already driven or EQ'd. You can still shape the sound. And yeah, as you see, you can just think really minimalistic on this genre. If you go back talking about in BIGROOM, there are so many sounds in the drop, but in techno, you gotta be minimalistic. For example, for the drop leads, I have only one lead, but if you process it wisely, it's totally enough. Okay, let's go talk about drums. Let me mute the drop leads and let's hear kick, bass and drums so you will understand them properly. Because most of the time when you hit the drop, you just don't need any of the drums and stuff. This is a mistake I see most of my students. They just start the drop with all the drums, so you just don't need to do that. Just give the kick, bass and melody at 4 bars, and then you can bring some open or closed heads. And in the second part of the drop, you can have so many different sounds. So in this case, my layers are this. So I have this closed head from the bonus pack that they gave. An open head from Kashmir. It's a nice clap, really dry. And a top loop that I find on Splice. And again, in this example, I have no processing on any of the drums. So I just have the Techify again. This time I'm adding a bit of the drive to my sound. So when I give some drive and thickness, it's also adding the character of the claps. It just makes the clap more smooth, but at the same time, it's just taming the transient of the claps, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, you can always give some saturation to your drums. So you can have only 4 layers of drums, but it can sound so much bigger in the final mix. Other than that, I have 2 bass shots in here. And a white noise. And a synth shot. And that's really it. Let's hear the whole drop. And I'm gonna play once more the whole drop because it changed so many parameters since the beginning of the video. Okay guys, today I show you how I made this BIGROOM techno drop with using Thickify. I hope you can apply this to your own productions too. Just don't forget to check the link in the description. You can just get the Thickify and make your sounds thick. You can apply it on every sound and it's really a time saver. You don't need to spend so many time on processing. You can just put it to any sound, even a finished sound, and it can take it to something different and make the sound more stand out with giving it a really different character. I think you are gonna see Thickify more in the channel because I'm planning to use it on my future tracks, future tutorials. So I hope you enjoyed the plugin and the tutorial as well. And if I were you, I will give a Thickify to a chance. If you have any questions related to BIGROOM Techno or Thickify plugin, you can just write it in the comment section. Today that was it guys. See you on the next video. Bye bye.